Even though Wall Street predicts 2022 and 2023 will have a 10% growth in earnings and isn't currently anticipating any slowdown, many multi-unit franchisees have expressed concern over economic uncertainties. Talks of inflation, change in tax law, ongoing supply chain issues, and labor shortages have multi-unit franchisees wondering how or if they need to readjust their business strategy. In this episode, Michael Einbinder with Einbinder & Dunn and the Rawls Group succession planner Jeff Bannon discusses how to overcome economic headwinds facing multi-unit franchisee owners.
Well, I think right now is one of the most interesting times in recent history. I think we've had an incredible run-up in the market over the last decade or so, but at this point, no one has a crystal ball, and everybody's kind of wondering, is it time to brace ourselves? Wall Street suggested that 2022 was going to have 10% growth on earnings, as well as 2023, another 10% growth on earnings. So they're certainly not seeing any type of slowdown or anticipating it. I do think that that the strength of the consumer is a big factor to this relative to past times. You've got a workforce that is largely employed. People are working more hours than they had previously in the last year. Wages are higher. And I think generally speaking, there's excess savings among consumers that are available to continue feeding the market going forward. As it relates to supply chain and other dynamics like that, the COVID effect might be slowing down a little bit, but the general sense I've gotten from everybody I've spoken with is that it ain't going away quick.
My view is just sort of the same as Jeff's. We've had a run up in the economy for the last 10 or more years. Everything has just been wonderful, and things have just kept on growing and growing and growing. Whether that continues or not, or whether that continues to feed growth is really the ultimate question. I don't think we really know what's going to happen, and not knowing is scary for investors. But when times are bad, there's opportunities for growth. There are, perhaps less people trying to buy businesses, and therefore prices are a little bit better if they're making acquisitions. There are potentially people who are looking for certainty and job growth that they might be able to get through a new job someplace. So there are opportunities to hire the right people, buy the right businesses, and so on. But there is just a dynamic of concern about what's going to happen next and whether it's going to go up or down. I mean, I see, in the New York Times this week, there was an article with about 14 different versions of whether there's going to be a recession, from possibly maybe to almost certainly. And who am I to say that, any one of those people on the spectrum deciding or prognosticating about whether there's going to be a recession are right or wrong. So as a person who watches this, because it affects what I do as a lawyer and it affects my clients, I'm just not sure what's going to happen. The question is how people are going to react to that uncertainty, and what are the impediments to growth.
Yeah, and I think I'd add one component to this is the idea that the government spent a whole lot of money over the last couple of years. And predictably, everybody's bracing themselves for tax ramifications, increased taxes going forward. One of those that we deal with quite a bit are the estate and gift taxes, particularly with family-owned businesses and considerations of making gifts and things like that. And there was some hope that the recent gift tax laws and estate tax laws giving everybody just over $12 million of exemption, there was hope that this would be extended beyond 2025, but as the law stands, it's going to sunset in 2025. And so as it relates to the business owners from an estate planning standpoint and wanting to make gifts or transfer assets, that window certainly seems more likely to close in the next couple of years than people had thought before.
Although there are many unknowns about the future, business succession planning positions you to take advantage of opportunities the marketplace creates. By proactively addressing possible, probable, and potential issues, you create many options at your fingertips. Do you have a question you want to discuss with an expert? Feel free to reach out directly to Michael or Jeff at the email addresses listed on the screen. This is only one out of our 5-episode series focused on succeeding despite economic uncertainties. Continue listening to the series now or come back for more. Each topic featured may want you to learn something new. Succeeding Despite Economic Uncertainties is a part of the Rawls Group's Advancing Your Business, People, and Legacy Conversation series.